Hi everyone. Hope everybody had a safe New Year's. I spent 8 hours in the hospital with my wife. She was dehydrated. So we got home. It was late last night. We got about 2 in the morning. We went there and got out about noon. And naturally I didn't get no sleep, so I slept all day. Alright, this is my first attempt at this air dam. I went too narrow with it. It's wide enough from side to side, but it ain't long enough to hit after I bend everything. Nope, that's not a winner. So I just grab another. Obviously Doug didn't realize it yet. Any of you guys ever use, there's the bigger piece. Any of you guys ever use a burnishing tool like that? You can also use a spoon. Spoons work pretty good to set a curvature, a real smooth one. I didn't want that because it probably would look better or more realistic, but mine is more of a bent in a break looking thing. I wanted the dam to be high enough that the air would be pushed around and it would cut the airflow down over the suspension. Less turbulence. Right, like I know. So I decided to put a lip to trap the air more, to shove it off the side. That's what that there is for. Now I'm just rudely putting everything disappearing. I got hex plastic. I don't remember where I seen that from because I was shocked when the guy, I don't remember who it was, because I went, hey, where'd you get that? And he bought his from Airfix. I got this from Plastistruck. So, and it comes pretty small too. And I thought it went, I don't know, I think it went to, I think this is 1/2 millimeter or less. I don't remember. And then I went half of that again. That's probably the one I should have used, because after you get it painted, it looks like it's 1-inch grade 8 bolts. Right now I'm working on Pete's model car grill challenge. So I'm thinning out this grill for this Corvette, which isn't being used because I had to make my own. So I figured if I screwed it up, I'm not making another one that I know of. Anyway, I'm using number 11 blade, the chisel. I also use some files, micro files I should say, and this sanding pad thing I got. You can see the light coming through the backside now. That's meaning I'm getting it thin enough. The lighter you get it, the less you got to screw with it. But you got to be careful, because that Chevy truck Pete did, that had a lot of detail. This in here is just not as detailed. And so he did a great job on that. I've done this a lot with tanks for their grills, but in 1/35 scale they're way larger than, the holes are way larger than this ever thought of being. Surprisingly, I didn't poke my finger through this whole mess. You can see I'm starting to cut through it by scraping it to the back side. I want to get it super thin, then I'm going through and just poking the knife in, and then I scrape the excess off, because it just keeps folding back in. It's just kind of a cleaning nightmare. Not really bad. This took about 15 minutes, and yes, I had to pause it because my wife was asking me questions and that, so because of the holiday, you know. I thought I had that clamp Thank God it didn't really show up well because I had to speed it up pretty much. It's 15 minutes long and I cut it down to 3 or 4, I don't remember. But anyway, tried to show that clamp. I wanted you to see the pink behind it. Well, I figured out why Pete had so much trouble. Sorry, everything's Pete. Hey, Tom of Tom Ramble, are you going to Rambler 69? Sorry, are you going to do this too? Anyway, I virtually have no model car stash at all. This is my second model car in 50 some years, or 50 years. And which is, I found them to be fun. And the thing is I know from working on them enough that I know what things should look like, where it should be. Anyway, you can see I got the holes coming out. Now I'm using a torch tip cleaner. And as you notice down in the corner there, I haven't painted that fender yet. I didn't glue this piece, the air dam in yet. Of course it ain't painted yet, but you'll see I didn't do it yet because I wanted to get that done. Then I can mess with it. I'm going back through with the micro file. They call it micro. It didn't look that micro to me. Well, they're smaller than what I got, so I ain't griping. They actually worked quite well. They're little vicious little things. Tears into that plastic like a horde of terror-stricken gophers digging into the ground. So I'm going back through. Notice I broke it, which I just glued back together. I got a little rough with it. It's my fault. Most things can be fixed, and this was one of them. Now I'm going to paint or clean up my air dam. I snipped off the edges. Now I'm using a pair of arched fingernail clippers, and one fell off, one of the bolts. I wasn't really worried about it. Glued it back on, and then I snipped that off when it dried. Now that part's dry. I'm going over that grill with some silver marker just to kind of bring it out, but nothing worked. There, I went and got the last one. I'm just sanding it up. Cleaning the sides up, getting any burrs or weird edges off, hopefully. This is the side that goes towards the radiator, and so you can see it through the top or through the grill, and I wanted that black. Don't want to see that white. So I'm letting that dry, and right now I am mutilating a piece of very thin aluminum from a tea light. I'm trying to scrape the wax out of it, but I ain't really too worried about it. It's going to go through a lot here anyway. So now I'm trying to flatten it out and then I realized you got a bunch of bumps in that on your mat. You got to use something different. Well, I did in a little bit. I finally got smart. I used a piece of plastic I had. I cut this in half. Right now I'm running some 120 grit over just to rough it up a little. And now I'm going to clean it with some Testor's enamel thinner, or actually paintbrush cleaner for enamel. It's the only thing I got left of enamel besides Testor's silver, which I do like. And it lasts for centuries. God, don't spray an airplane with it. It takes years to dry. Now, that's what I should have done, is put on a piece of plastic like that. I taped the end down. I made enough after. This is for heat shields on the side aerol on the car where the exhaust ejects out the back side. I didn't, the way it doesn't burn them. I was thinking needed. They had on C7Rs. I thought, why not? So I have these sanding pads from 3,200 to 10,000, and then they're 3,000 grit, or 2,000 and 3,000. It was some odd number. I think I went to 2,000, and just make sure there's some water on it, carry away debris. And what I'm trying to do is get a mirror finish. I'm not, I was showing you this here. I'm not done. I got a polishing wheel for my Dremel and for knives that I make. Right now I'm just hitting, what I did there is hit the light, or hit the camera with my arm, grabbing the deep scratch remover polish. Boy, I put enough on there. So I'm trying not to go up and down. I'm trying to go one direction, kind of grain it in a way, but you can barely see the red in that. So it's a lot better because it was dull before. Aluminum oxidizes so quickly. Here's another coat of that same stuff. There, you can start to see my face. One of these times here, I'm not sure. I think I showed the pad. The cloth I'm using, it's black. This is the one that really helps the polish and surface cleaner. So you can see the eraser. Yay! See there I was just showing you where the arrow goes. There's all the parts. Now I got to paint the other side of the air dam using black gray, and neutral gray. I don't know why I put the black down so much, because I only need a smaller amount than I did. Well, I guess they're about the same. But anyway, I'm painting most of it like I did the car with neutral gray, or black gray. Then you mix a little bit of the black in with it to make it darker, and then you go under the dam to create a false shadow in a way. Now I'm mixing up some neutral gray and black gray to pop out the bolt heads a little, highlight them, you might say. Right now is when I did my panel line wash. I wanted to gather in those creases to make it look darker. It helped. It's very subtle. You can see it there when I flip it down. I'm going around each bolt head with some India ink, black. I believe it's Iron Ball ink. It's really nice stuff. Now that dries pretty quick, so I'm going back through and I'm adding some little bit of dirt, just a little bit, because on the side of the car is a little dirty. It's not like my real car or truck. Now this stuff, it can be redone. There you can see, there's the grill. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, guys. Thank you.